Welcome everybody to another vidIQ live stream. I'm Dan, and every Wednesday we come to you with Q&A. It's your opportunity to hang out with us and ask all sorts of questions. Sometimes those questions are about a specific topic, and other times we just do some general Q&A. Sometimes we're joined by a guest, and today that's exactly what's happening. Today we are joined by none other than Viper. Once again, welcome back. How are you? Are you getting me?
What's up, Dan? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm still having problems with the ear, so we're out to jerry-rig this today, apparently.
Oh, all right. I bet everything's working okay enough.
Oh.
We were doing this right before the stream started. There were a couple of technical glitches with Viper's audio. So today we'll be discussing all sorts of YouTube-related topics. We wanted to talk a little bit today about what is stopping folks from actually starting on YouTube in the first place. Maybe you haven't started your channel yet. Maybe you started it kind of recently and you're kind of struggling with the early stages of being a creator. But we will get into Q&A as well. And we're going to be taking your questions for probably about 90 or so minutes. You know, any questions you think of, I always ask that you just start writing them down now. And that way we can get to them during the Q&A section of the live stream. And yeah, make sure everyone gets an answer. So, ooh, is it working for you, Viper?
Yeah, I'd take the earbuds out. So we're gonna do the speakerphone speaker.
That should be okay. I think StreamYard has some pretty decent noise canceling, so I'm not hearing myself, which is good.
That should be okay. I think
oh, now I'm hearing myself.
So, I'm not hearing myself, which is good. That should be okay. Oh, now
There's like an infinite loop.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
I want to say hello to some of the folks here who are already saying hi to us. I see Roberto TRL. I see MD Twahid. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. John Jewel. We have Phil the Spill, and let's see, Cup of Joe is here. Nerdy Man. Oh, I lost it. Sandy Patrol. Crazy Dice. Welcome, everybody. Viper, who are you saying hello to? Unless you don't have chat up. Viper?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. Did you want to say hello to anyone in chat here?
Oh. Let's see. We got JRJ Foodie out there. What's up? Got Grand Toby. What's up, Toby? Got homeless movies out there. We got Love Builds Up. Hello. Appreciate all you all joining the stream. Sorry we're having technical difficulty, but we'll figure it out.
we will. It's it'll be all right. Also, normally Mr. Rob Wilson would join us. He is on holiday this week, but he will be back next week. And who knows? Maybe somebody else will pop in during Q&A here in a little bit too. So stay tuned. So Viper, today we are kicking things off by talking about the things that keep people from starting on YouTube in the first place, or even, you know, getting their channel really going after starting it. Do you want to kick us off?
Actually, why don't you start real quick? I'm gonna leave and then come back. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll keep working on the technical aspects of the live stream. So let's do this while Viper's getting things fixed up, and maybe there's a poll. I don't have the YouTube Studio open right now because I'm just doing everything through StreamYard. So I'll frantically get that open on the back end here so I can see if there's a poll running right now. I'd be curious to know how many of you, just by a show of hands, are starting your YouTube journey, relatively about now, or if you're about to start your YouTube journey. Maybe just a little raise hand emoji while I pull up the YouTube Studio here and check this out for myself. There we go. So, here we go. So the poll that was put up was, how long have you been on YouTube as a creator? And it looks like 50% of you, so most of the respondents so far, out of 435 votes, my goodness, have said 6 months, less than 6 months. And we have 24% 6 to 12 months. Okay, so about a year. And then we have some of you who have been doing this for at least 1 to 5 years, some of you more than 5 years. So welcome. That is quite a lot of votes. but I'm not seeing many likes. We have 151 likes on this live stream. If you want to, and I understand if you want to wait a little bit, wait till maybe some more value gets thrown at you. I do hope you hit the like button on today's live stream. So very interesting. Less than 6 months. So since for the time I'm co-hostless, unless Viper is joining us again. Here we go. Well, I'll let him get settled here and drop him in the call and see if the audio is working. How we doing?
Better. Go better.
Oh,
maybe not. There we go.
There we go. So we just did a poll and we asked people how long have they been a creator on YouTube, and it looks like 49% of the votes, the majority of the votes, say less than 6 months.
Wow. Okay.
We have 6 to 12 months at 24% of the votes, and then 22% say 1 to 5 years, and then 5% say more than 5 years. So a wide array of people in the chat today.
It seems like most of them are new though, so that's interesting.
Yes,
that's fun.
Yes. So to those of you who have been doing this less than 6 months, welcome to YouTube. What advice, just out of the gate, Viper, do you have for creators who are in this kind of position right now?
Have fun. I think that's probably the most important advice that I can give any new creator. Have fun. Don't take it so seriously. You're just starting. You're going to hear a lot of talk about analytics, titles, tags, thumbnails, all that stuff. When you're first starting out, none of that really matters. You want to have fun. You want to make sure that you make content that you enjoy making, because once you get a flow and once you realize that you are having fun making the content, then you can dig a little bit deeper into the analytical side and everything else that we creators deal with. But when you're first starting out, just have fun. Seriously.
I love that advice. Absolutely. One thing we didn't do yet is introduce you a little bit better. Tell us about you and your channel. By the way, everybody, it is linked down below if you want to go check Viper out.
Okay. So, what's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech. I have been making tech content on YouTube for about 3.5 years now. I used to make videos just about Apple and their products, but I recently kind of branched out a little bit. So now I make videos about general tech. I've been making gaming videos recently. Oh. So if it's technology related, I'm probably making a video about it. So that's what I do on YouTube.
Tell us a little bit about the gaming videos. We have a very large gaming audience here at vidIQ, and I'm one of those folks, so I'm interested.
Okay. So yeah, I've been talking about Xbox Game Pass a lot recently. I made a video where I had an actual Game Pass employee on the video with me answering questions that people have about Game Pass. So I've done that. I've talked about how I feel like Sony needs to come out with a Game Pass competitor or an alternative. Otherwise, it's going to hurt their business in the next few years, because Xbox Game Pass is literally changing the way we are consuming video games, and Sony can't ignore it. I mean, they got to adapt to it's happening, whether they like it or not. So just different videos like that. And probably within the next week or so, I'm going to have a video comparing the Xbox Series X to the PlayStation 5, because I have both. I'm going to do a direct comparison between the two. So that's coming up too.
I don't want to go down this rabbit hole too much, but right. I got it. I have like a personal experience with this, and I want to ask you, because I have a friend of mine who is like a Stadia fan. Like, they love Stadia to the point where they've bought a bunch of their games on Stadia. So they actually own the games. You know, Stadia, for those of you who don't know, lets you stream games, and you can play them on like just about any device. As long as your internet is up to snuff, you can play these games, and as long as your phone or computer or whatever hooks up to like a controller, it's actually a very pleasant experience. So I've tried it, and I actually really like it. The service is solid. None of these games are installed on any of my devices. They're all streamed from their hub. My internet seems decent enough without delay. I'm playing Cyberpunk, Jedi Fallen Order, like all these different games. And when you said that like Xbox Game Pass could use like a competitor, that popped into my head. Do you feel like Stadia is still one of those things that's just kind of like Stadia, or do you think that it's like a serious contender in this space?
I've never used it, so I don't really have any personal firsthand knowledge of experience with it, but I know people that have used it and they enjoy their experience with it. the problem with Stadia is a lot of things. Actually, I should say the problem with Stadia is like a lot of things with Google. Google, they don't always stay committed to new projects that they roll out there. I think sometime last year they actually said that they are not going to support third-party development for Stadia anymore. So they've already stopped on their support for the service. So that's kind of unfortunate. So that kind of makes you question the longevity of Stadia. Is it going to be around long enough to compete with a Game Pass or PlayStation Now even? Like I don't know. I mean, Google's track record doesn't really make me comfortable saying that. But like I said, for the people that I've talked to that have used it, they have enjoyed it. But I just don't know if Google is going to support it long term, to be honest with you.
I one more thing on this, and then we'll get back to YouTube. But I bought this thing. It's sitting right here. So I already had an Xbox controller, and I bought this crazy clamp. And what this does is you just pop your phone into it, and then whatever gaming service that you use, Stadia, Game Pass, as long as it has an app on your phone that lets you play the games, because all our phones have Bluetooth, and these controllers hook right up to them. And so, while we were talking about it, I just got this thing, and I've been playing with it a little bit with the Stadia games that I have access to, and I was just really impressed. I couldn't. I'm like, dang! I turned my phone / Xbox controller into like a Nintendo Switch kind of. It was really. Anyway, since we were there, I'm like, I got to show this thing off.
There you go. Yeah, those are pretty cool.
So, in any case, you know your way around YouTube. We had Viper on recently, for those who don't know, and Viper is incredibly good at networking. Okay. And we talked about that last time Viper was on. I'm sure we'll get there a little bit. If you have questions today about how you can network as a YouTuber, whether it's with other YouTubers or brands, definitely start writing those down for the Q&A portion of the live stream today, because Viper is a wealth of knowledge there. You just said on your channel you had somebody from Xbox Game Pass and interviewed them. I mean, that's awesome. How did you set that up, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm glad you asked. So for those of y'all that are not familiar, there are multiple other platforms out there besides YouTube. One of the ones I utilize heavily is called Clubhouse. For those of y'all who are not familiar, Clubhouse is an audio-only platform. It's a strictly voice platform. But there are a lot of people, brands, and companies on Clubhouse. And I actually met the Xbox head of product marketing, Aaron Greenberg, on Clubhouse. And he hosts these rooms every night. Or not every night, every Tuesday night, I should say. So I'm in these gaming rooms every week talking to people from Xbox and PlayStation and things like that. So through cultivating that relationship and that connection, I was able to get somebody from the Game Pass team to come on my video and answer questions about Game Pass. So it's all about just networking and making those connections wherever you can.
Part of the job for you as a creator is to literally spend time in different parts of the internet, Clubhouse, maybe in a past life conventions prior to pandemic. They're coming back though. It's one of the things I tell creators is like, hey, maybe you should consider not uploading daily content if that's something your schedule isn't jiving with. And part of the reason I give that advice is because I know going into YouTube, it's so important to leave room for those other things. You want to develop as a creator. You want to get better at making thumbnails. You want to get better at editing. You want to develop as a marketer. You have to market your videos on YouTube by having good titles and good thumbnails. And if you want your channel to continue to grow, depending on what you do, you may want to network. And Clubhouse is a fantastic resource for this. We have our own club. Viper hosts a room in Clubhouse every week. JJ and Howell were on yesterday on our channel audit live stream, and they host rooms every week in our Clubhouse as well. So definitely check that out if you haven't already.
A real quick, Dan, before you go on, speaking of networking and things like that, as you just pointed out, I host room for vidIQ every week on Clubhouse, and tomorrow night is my night. So tomorrow night, I'm going to be talking about how YouTubers should be using Twitter, and mainly for networking purposes. So if you're on Twitter, but you don't use it much, or you're wondering what's the point in Twitter, definitely come find me on Clubhouse tomorrow night in the vidIQ group. And I will be talking about Twitter with some other creators that use Twitter to network and connect with their other fellow creators. So Twitter is definitely another great tool that we as creators use. And if you have a YouTube channel, you should definitely be on Twitter.
You should be on Twitter. And I gotta say, like, one of the mistakes I see creators make all the time when they make a Twitter is I'm going to use this to help people know when my videos go live. And so the only time they tweet is when they have a video link to share.
Yeah.
And just like YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on these other social platforms, you gotta bring some value to the conversation, whether it's to show off something cool that you built in a game or to share some tips. Maybe you made a video about your top 5 tips to invest in cryptocurrency. Why don't you put a couple of those tips in a tweet rather than just link to video? Because more and more and more people are not clicking on those links. It's not what they're on Twitter for. You want to make more of your content driven by value than you do about just self-promotion. So Twitter can be, if used correctly, a great networking tool, as Viper said. So just talking about, mistakes that creators are making when they're getting started. As we know now, thanks to our polls. I love YouTube polls. Oh my gosh. We know that we know about half of you here right now have started YouTube in the last 6 months. What other bits of advice? Let me ask you this. What do you wish somebody told you when you were in the first 6 months of your YouTube journey?
I love these questions because, again, I just hosted a vidIQ Clubhouse room a couple of weeks ago addressing this very question. So, things that I wish I knew before starting YouTube. I wish I knew the whole concept of niching down. Not so I will actually go out and do it, but just to know what it means and what it means to the future of my channel. A lot of times as new creators, you'll hear the term niching. And basically what it means is that you need to pick a particular subject area that you want to cover or you want your channel to be related to. Variety content, it is very difficult to grow a channel on YouTube. Now, if you don't care about your YouTube channel growing at all, then you can go in there and do whatever you want. But if you want your channel to grow, if you actually want to see actual tangible growth on YouTube, you kind of have to niche down. You kind of have to pick a lane and stick to that lane, which is why I was talking about having fun earlier, because whatever lane you pick, ultimately, you want to make sure it's something that you have fun creating content about over and over and over again, because that's what it takes to grow on YouTube. So I definitely wish I knew about them. I knew more, I should say, about the concept of niching down, because it's very important to grow your YouTube channel. Also, I wish I knew how important audio is. Let me go into this real quick, because a lot of new creators do not understand the importance of audio. So for the first 7 months of my YouTube career, I was doing everything on my iPad Pro. I was filming, editing. I was even using the internal microphone of the iPad Pro to record my audio. And I was doing it for 7 months. One day, I was in a Discord server, and I got a private message from one of my friends. He was like, "Yo, Viper, I like your content, but you got to do something about your audio because it sounds like you're underwater." So I kind of went back. I listened to the audio of my past videos, and I was like, you know what? Kind of has the point. So I went out and I brought probably the most famous beginner microphone in the history of content creation. I brought a Blue Yeti, and then my audio just took off from there. But when you're first starting out on YouTube, you don't know anything about audio 101 or nothing like that. But the most important thing as far as making videos when you are first starting out, you have to get your audio on point. Go out and buy it. And a lot of people will think they need like top level gear, they need expensive cameras and things like that. No. When you're first starting out, use your phone and go out and buy an external microphone. That should be your very first investment into your YouTube channel. Go out and buy an actual proper microphone so your audio can be crisp, and let everything else take care of itself.
Yeah. And I just saw somebody ask real quick. We're not in Q&A yet, but this is just relevant to what we're talking about. Audio is very important. Is Blue Yeti a good microphone? Viper put it lightly, I think, when he said it's the most like popular microphone people get. It's great. This microphone here is an AT2020. There's an XLR version. There's a USB version. It's also one of the mics that competes with the Blue Yeti. It's I have it right here, right there. And it's a fine microphone as well. So yeah, it's kind of, you get to a point like at that level of microphone where it's all kind of negligible. You can find sales. That's what dictated this purchase. It was on sale and I knew it was good. I had a friend that had one. So yeah, not sponsored, just, there's a lot of great products out there. I know Elgato has made a new mic like for streamers. They do a lot of this stuff. They make the Stream Deck, they make the Elgato key lights, which I'm using right now. so they listen to streamers and they create products for them. So you could look into them as well. But yeah, always important. There's even like cheaper options too. You could get a lapel mic that a cheaper one that is going to sound better than the internal mic in your phone. It's not going to be the best audio quality ever, but when you're just starting and you don't have a lot of money to invest in your channel, that's what I would do. I know a lot of people one of the questions we get a lot during these Q&As, in fact, is, should I spend money to promote my videos in Google? So like they want to turn their videos into ads and have the videos out there. And I always tell them, you can. There's certainly nothing wrong with doing that, but not only are you not going to get a meaningful viewership out of that, you're taking money out of your own pocket that you could invest into just making better content. If you were to take that money, let's say you have a nice microphone already, but you're really bad at thumbnails. You admit it to yourself. You're like, I wish I was better at this. Buy a course. Take the money you were going to spend to promote your video and go out there. We have a course on our own vidIQ Academy. There's a lot of courses out there on how to get better at thumbnails. You can use it to learn how to use your editing software, Photoshop, whatever it is. Invest in yourself as a creator before you just try and like throw money at the problem of my channel's not growing, because it's not going to get you anywhere. You'll see the view count spike. You'll see zero engagement. You'll see the retention on those videos be horrendously low because it's just no way to grow an audience.
No. And I would almost argue that when you do buy ads and your video ads run up against other videos on YouTube, you are literally interrupting somebody's viewing experience. And you got to ask yourself, is somebody likely to come check out your channel when you are interrupting their viewing experience on someone else's video? Probably not. Unless you have a very compelling ad, probably not.
This is why ads during like the Super Bowl cost so much, right? Like it's the most viewed event in the country when it's going on. And there's these, big brands like car brands, soda brands. They spend a ton of money on an ad that lasts 30 seconds or less in some cases. And there's nothing you can click on. There's nothing you can interact with as the viewer, but their goal is to get their brand in your head. So the next time you're thirsty for a soda, you think of that one brand, and that's part of the marketing behind it. Think of your channel like that. Like someone just clicked on this video. Someone else earned that click, right? There was a thumbnail and a title that a user resonated with, and they're like, I want to see that video. They click on it, and your video pops up in the first 5 seconds as an ad. They're just waiting for that button that says skip. They just want to get to the video that they clicked on. They've already committed to the video that they clicked on. Exactly. But if you're selling a product, ads are so much more valuable because I can hold up a sign, the vidIQ, it'll help you grow, and that's the first 5 seconds, and then you get into the video. And if you see that enough, the next time you're thinking about growing your YouTube channel, hopefully you pick vidIQ. When you have a product or a service to sell, it's a lot different because it doesn't depend on, I need that interaction immediately. Like we as vidIQ know that you might not be at the time thinking of making a video, but the next time you are, we sure do hope that you think of us first. So that's kind of the purpose of advertising in a very basic, watered down way. And I don't want people to think that that's what they can use to grow their channel. Like,
like somebody was saying in the chat, you want that organic growth. You don't want to try to manufacture it. It's not going to work.
That will not work. So do you want to perhaps pivot to Q&A? We've been talking for about 25 minutes now. You want to start taking some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the way this works is, and it looks like some of you are already doing it, put hashtag question in front of your question. That helps us discern who's talking to each other in chat versus who is trying to get their question directed at us. I'm going to throw up some different tickers here, throw up that. StreamYards is fun. And let's start looking for some questions. I'll try not to have too much dead air during this period, but let's see here. Let's see. I'm going to refresh. All right, here we go. We got one from CSM6 who asks, what's the full effect of retention rate on YouTube Shorts success? And also, why do YouTube Shorts start getting recommended at 5 a.m.? Do you want to take this one first?
Sure. Retention rate is not just for YouTube Shorts, it's for any YouTube video in general. Of course, the higher retention rate, the more likely YouTube is to recommend that video to more viewers. So the goal of any video on YouTube from a creator standpoint is to get the highest amount of retention possible for that video, because that indicates to the algorithm that people are enjoying the video, and the algorithm is more likely to recommend that video if the retention rate is high. There's no set number, but I think normally people like to hit around 50% or higher retention rate on most of their videos if they wanted to do well on the platform. But that's just a general number. Don't take that to the bank or anything like that. But yeah, you definitely want that retention rate up there if you want that video recommended by the algorithm. And as far as why does YouTube start recommending videos at 5 a.m., I don't know. It might just be who they think your best audience is or whatever. I don't really have an answer for that one.
I've had my shorts recommended at 3 a.m. I've had my shorts recommended all kinds of crazy hours. I'll tell you my theory on this, and this is a dude on the internet rambling right now, okay? So don't give this like a whole lot of weight, but my personal theory is depending on what vertical you're making shorts for. If Minecraft is the one I'm going to use as an example because there's so many Minecraft shorts, the short shelf only has so much real estate, right? So if you're trying to get shorts, if you're YouTube and you're trying to get shorts, Minecraft ones, to a Minecraft audience, there's a lot more of those than there is space to host all of them. So the reason you might be seeing your shorts up really, really early in the morning is because that may be the time where there's a little bit of space available to finally test one of your shorts. Again, just my theory. But there's 5 a.m. is maybe you're seeing that consistently for you. That's not a hard and fast thing. Like I've been testing shorts a lot. I've had them recommended at all sorts of weird times of the day. It doesn't seem to matter. And for anyone who doesn't know, what we're talking about is when you upload a YouTube short specifically, it seems that it gets no views at first, and then suddenly it just spikes. And that's because YouTube shorts kind of get tested in the YouTube algorithm. And again, I always talk about inventory. There's only so much space that YouTube has to put shorts in front of people, in my opinion. And so you have to kind of wait for something to kind of open up, and then YouTube tests it to an audience. And that's why you see maybe it spikes to like 1,000 views and then stops again, just completely dead. Sometimes it spikes to that high, stops, and then starts to slowly uptick. Sometimes it looks like a stair step pattern in your graph because it spikes and stops and spikes and stops. We don't exactly know how it works, which is why I'm saying, again, dude rambling, you know. I don't know everything about shorts, but I've tested them a lot, and I've had a lot of really interesting bits of success. And when it comes to retention rate, the thing I'll add to what Viper said is that it is very important. And one of the biggest mistakes you can make as a shorts creator is making your short any longer than it possibly needs to be. Yep. It's even easier to click off of a short than it is on any other video because you're on your phone and it's one thumb swipe. Your thumb's already there. You know, it's so easy to do this all day long. So if you can make your shorts shorter, do it. You have a whole minute to play with. That doesn't mean you should make them a minute. YouTube, when you use the shorts camera in your phone, only gives you 15 seconds. So kind of take that as a guide. Like YouTube knows that shorter short form content probably performs better. And then the real trick, if you look at Jake Fellman and other mega shorts creators, they've been testing loops. And if you can get people watching your short without even realizing that they've seen it 3 times, your retention rate for that person is suddenly 300%. And so that is all positive signs to the algorithm. Like, this guy makes really good videos. And this isn't like a secret that YouTube's going to nip in the bud either. YouTube recommends you test out loops in their own blogs and stuff. So that's my spiel about shorts. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, so I'm always raring to go when it comes to YouTube shorts. All right, let's look for another question. Thank you for that question. This is probably how it's going to be, Viper. We're just going to like talk on these for a bit, I think.
Hey, let's go, man. Let's do it.
This is a question I'm kind of asking myself. I don't have a great answer to this. Maybe you do. Is the adpocalypse still a thing? Should I be worried as a new creator because gaming audiences can be toxic at times?
Oh, man.
That's true.
The adpocalypse is like anything else in life. It can happen at the most unexpected time. There's literally no way to be prepared for it. The problem is, even if you are making content that is safe for all audiences and things like that, it doesn't matter. If a big time creator on a platform makes some content that is out of pocket or not suitable and it makes headlines, it's going to affect the entire platform because you're going to have other advertisers reconsidering what they're doing on YouTube. So you can't, as a creator, you can't really worry about the adpocalypse. All you can do is go out and make the best content that you can make. Actually, the real answer to this question is, if you're so worried about an adpocalypse on YouTube, put content on other platforms that don't have an adpocalypse.
You can absolutely utilize other platforms in your content creation strategy. You could be taking longer form videos, creating clips, and testing the clips on TikTok if you want. You know, you can create more of an empire rather than putting all your eggs in one basket. A lot of people do that successfully. What's interesting about this question is, should I be worried as a new creator because gaming audiences can be so toxic? So they're pointing the finger, I think, at the audience for their content. They're noticing maybe some toxic comments, for example. If I'm understanding your question right, I would say that you don't want to worry about what the people in your comments are doing. You know, like, you want to moderate your comments, sure, but you're not going to fall victim to like someone saying, "Hey, this guy has negative comments. YouTube, what are you doing letting this guy be on YouTube?" Like, that's not a thing.
Yeah, the audience is not going to cause an apocalypse. It will be a creator that causes an apocalypse. It's not going to be the audience. However, if you are a new creator on YouTube and you are of the mindset that you want to work with brands down the line, then you might want to think about keeping your comment section clean, clean of foul language and any other vulgar comments, because brands do look at that stuff. They look at how we maintain our comment section. So if you are concerned about the optics of your channel as a whole, then maybe consider putting certain words in your block filter so they won't show up on your channel. Or if a crazy comment does show up in your comment section, you got to delete it or hide it. So there is an element to that if you are thinking about turning this into a business long term.
I'm fortunate enough on my personal channel to still be able to address all my comments. And by address them, I don't mean reply to every single one. I try to reply with a heart or something, but I try to make sure, I try to go through my comments. I kind of make it a routine every night to go through my comments. And if anyone has said something negative, excuse me, if anyone's been a troll or anything like that, I make sure to ban those people. There's no second chances. There's no, like, you're going to ruin the experience for other people who are interacting with my videos. So goodbye. You need to be really, like, protective of your community, in my opinion. And that whenever someone jumps into your Discord, for example, and starts causing trouble, maybe they're a regular viewer. When they got to Discord and they had this new platform, they became this like toxic monster. You need to remove those folks. And it sometimes it stinks, sometimes it's hard, especially the longer someone's around, but you have to protect everybody else in the room. You know, you got to keep, that's why we have moderators. By the way, thank you so much, moderators. And Dan H, of course, our community manager, always managing our chat, making sure that if anyone jumps in like that, they're removed, because we want everybody else here who's interacting with us to have a good experience. And that does, like Viper said, play into the brand aspect. If you're trying to grow your channel, if you're a gaming channel, you want to work with G Fuel one day, or a company like that, you want to make sure that your channel is moderated. You take YouTube seriously, and all of that stuff, your channel banner, your channel art, the comment section, all of that are pieces of that puzzle.
Yep. They're looking at everything.
Absolutely. All right, looking for more questions here. Oh, I saw one and I accidentally refreshed chat. It was a good one too. It was like it was very on par with what we were talking about earlier. I'm trying to scroll up to see if I can find it. I apologize. Oh, yep, here it is. Best way to grow / promote my channel from scratch. So this is somebody who I assume is just starting out, brand new YouTube channel. How do I, what do I do to promote this thing? How do I get people watching?
Ooh, yeah, this is a pretty interesting question from a brand new creator. So I would say you can also post your videos or post links to it, or make announcements that you posted a new video on other platforms off of YouTube. Like for me, whenever I upload a new video to YouTube, I post to Twitter that I uploaded a video. Now, I don't get on Twitter and tag every creator under the sun under the video, because that's just rude and I'll get you blocked. But I just post the video. I post the announcement on Twitter that I uploaded a video. I might throw in a couple of relevant hashtags to the video, or popular trending hashtags of the day, and so we can get some more visibility. But yeah, it's all about posting to different platforms. Also, as creators, you need to be involved in other creator communities outside of your own. If you are actively involved in other communities, then people are going to naturally become curious of you and what you do, especially if you provide value in other communities. So it's all about just getting your name out there and providing value in other communities that are like-minded, or not even, or different communities for that matter. But there's also different other platforms that you can promote on. I think, Reddit's out there. You got to be careful with that, because they don't really like self-promotion in Reddit too much. But it's possible if you do it the right way. You can maybe go through Reddit. So yeah, you just got to be present on all the platforms and just do it the right way. You don't want to spam people trying to promote yourself, because again, that'll get you blocked and muted and everything. But just do it the right way, and just understand that it's going to take time. That's the big thing that new creators don't understand. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. It is going to take you a long time to build up a following and build up that notoriety that you're looking for. It's just not going to happen when you just because you show up. It's not going to happen just because you show up. It's going to take you consistently putting out content week in and week out. And as I always say, if you're making good content on a consistent basis, someone will notice you. I've said it before and I said it again. I said it about brands, but it's true of brands and creators. When you upload your first piece of content to YouTube or whatever platform that you're posting on, you are being watched from that point on. You're being watched by brands. You're being watched by your fellow creators. You are being watched. And if you consistently post content over and over again, you're going to just gradually grow an audience. And that audience is going to include your fellow creators and different people like that. So the best way to promote yourself is just to keep making content and let the magic happen naturally.
Yes. Of course, another good thing you can do too is make sure you're providing value on YouTube. There's another question I kind of picked out here that I think will also play into this question. So I'm gonna select that now, and I think we'll probably talk about this one for a minute, because this one, before I put it on the screen, this kind of goes. It's a great example of how there's no one answer to a lot of these questions. There's many ways to approach our jobs as people who want to give you some value and try and help you grow on YouTube and the like. And by the way, thank you for 292 likes. I wonder if there's 8 more people out there to get us to 300 likes. I don't know. I think crazier things have happened. That's all I'm saying. Hyped for Games says, I feel I struggle with niching down, though I do more PlayStation content. So this is a person who's playing a lot of different PlayStation games, and they're kind of struggling with just, how do I niche down? I just want to pick one, game. What do I do? I want to play a lot. Watched a video from Gary V, who said you should be your niche and not focus on a KPI. Do you think it's better in the long run? So basically, this is what I was saying. It's so hard to give you one answer. So Gary V is telling you you're the niche, We're saying things like niche down. You play PlayStation games. That's not enough. Play a game. Make your channel about that. And that is really, I will admit, as somebody who gives that advice, really narrow-minded. There's so many different types of YouTube channels out there. Sometimes you make a YouTube channel, it's not about one game. I want to review PlayStation games. So of course you're not going to play one game. You're going to play the latest and greatest game, and you're going to give your review. So it's kind of like a yes and no. It really, giving advice one-sided like this to a text Q&A is hard because it's very one-sided. I don't know exactly what you're going for on your channel, so it's hard to answer. But you say you play PlayStation games. So my question to you is, what, rhetorical anyway, because I know a lot of people chatting right now, what is it about your channel and you playing these PlayStation games? Why should I click on that? Because I can get that content from so many places. That content is everywhere. So what makes you different? You're the niche, and I agree with that. But what's the reason for me, as someone who's never heard of you before, to click on your video? You know what I mean? And that's where we get this advice of play one game, because you can focus. It's easier to put that into more perspective. If you're the Crash Bandicoot guy, right? You give you give your overview of Crash Bandicoot. You only play that game. I can go to you to learn everything I want to know about it. As a player of that game, I want to get better at it. I want to get to the end of it. I want to find all the secrets. And that's what I go to your channel for. That's why the one game advice is so cool. When you broaden, you still got to have a niche somewhere in there. You got to have some originality. And Viper, I'll let you kind of speak to this for a bit, because I'm starting to spin out. I'm going down too many rabbit holes.
So this is interesting, because obviously we've been talking about niching down and all that jazz. But when you have a topic and broad as PlayStation content, you can also break it down into sub buckets. So I think the general rule that most of us creators follow is that for 18 months, I made content primarily about Apple, but that's such a broad thing that I had to break it down to sub buckets. So my sub buckets were iPhone, iPad, and probably MacBook more or less. But I had like 3 sub buckets that I made my content about within the Apple umbrella. So if you're doing PlayStation content, you can do PlayStation reviews or PlayStation news or PlayStation how-to. There are different things like that. So you don't have to just hyper focus on the niche per se. You can have a broad niche and then create sub buckets to fit all your content if you want to explore a little bit. So there's a little wiggle room there. As long as you keep everything under the PlayStation umbrella, I think you have a little bit more latitude than you might be giving yourself. So just be aware of that.
I talk about goals a lot, and maybe I'm a little too vague too when I talk about this, but because a lot of you are here, you have a goal in mind, and the goal is, generally speaking, I want X many subscribers, I want to get to X many views in every video, things like that. And niching down to one single topic is kind of a quick way to grow when you figure out not only what you're passionate about, but what's resonating with an audience. An example of this would be Liron, who used to do these Wednesday live streams. In fact, he has a tech channel, and he started doing videos specifically on wireless routers because the wireless router direction was resonating so much better with his target audience than anything else he was doing. And then so the whole channel pivoted to just that. And a lot of tech channels do that. Jeff El Jefe, who works here at vidIQ, has a channel dedicated to headphones and earbuds, maybe even just earbuds now. I'm not really sure. I haven't been there in a while. And that you would think, how the heck do you make a whole YouTube channel and make videos day in and day out about earbuds? But he did it. That's his niche. He figured it out, and he's in there. He could broaden, but I think it just depends on his goals, and what could he possibly what could change? Maybe if he goes to cell phones next, he starts attracting a new audience, but then there's an audience that's going to drop off that I got a cell phone. I'm into the earbud content. Thanks, but no thanks. Maybe he can balance those two audiences, but is that what he wants to do? Because he might see his numbers change, and he might not want to see that happen. So it really does come down to goals. I think the broader you are, you can still grow. It's just a steeper hill to kind of climb, and that you're kind of playing with the YouTube recommendation system. If I subscribe to a channel and it's they played Crash Bandicoot one day, but now they're playing Tomb Raider the next day, I'm like, well, Crash Bandicoot and Tomb Raider are not related to me. Yes, of course, they're both on PlayStation, but I like Crash Bandicoot. I'm going to wait for those videos. And if there's too big of a gap between Crash Bandicoot videos and I just don't click anything that's being recommended to me, YouTube stops recommending their content to me. Now suddenly this channel's lost an otherwise dedicated reviewer who's willing to return just when the content was more relevant to them.
Yeah. So like you said, Dan, it really does depend on your objective. That is so important as a creator to know what your objective is, who your target audience is, and then you can make better decisions when you have those focuses in mind.
Yeah, I want to pull something up real quick, and I wish I would have thought of this a second ago. I'm just pulling up the vidIQ channel right now because I want to show you guys why I'm always going on about this, and I'm sure some of you have seen this before, especially if you follow our videos, but maybe some of you haven't. And it's something we always look at. So let me share my screen real quick and make sure I'm sharing the right window. That one. Okay, cool. So this is a newer metric from YouTube, and it's called returning viewers. Okay, so this is the vidIQ channel, and right now we have 271,000, almost 272,000 returning viewers to the channel. The purple line represents returning viewers. And I always say you want this line to be intersecting with the blue line, the new viewers, as much as possible, because that is proof that you are keeping your current audience engaged while also constantly bringing in new people as well. And that all equates to channel growth. This number, in the last 28 days, this is more accurate than our subscriber count here on the channel. We're approaching 1 million subscribers, but in the last 28 days, 271,000 people have returned to the channel. That's what we're looking at here. So if we were to start doing videos about fishing, and we did that for a week, you would see maybe the new viewers spike a little bit if we're good at it, and I think we would be. I don't think I'd be good at fishing, but we know I think we would be. I'm just going to throw that out there. We might see a spike in new viewers, but we might see this purple line just completely crash and burn. And if we were to keep that up, we might have trouble getting that returning viewers back, that number back, once we swap back to YouTube growth content. So that's where this advice comes from. This graph right here. It's my favorite thing.
Nice.
In any case, thank you for your question. I kind of figured we would go in on that one for a bit. Let's go ahead and refresh chat here and see what we got. Fish IQ. Yes. Let's see here. I want to answer this, but I think they need to reword the question. So I'm going to pull it up real quick for butter. It's okay. I got you. It's a channel about butts. Is it true that you need to post about a topic enough to then be added to the creator PO for that topic? Could you reword your question? Because I think there's something interesting in there, but I'm not quite sure what you're kind of aiming at there. So I just want to pull that up real quick. Okay. NBA One Day asks, does posting videos consistently on your channel on a schedule help you grow your channel faster?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go.
As I was talking about earlier, when you consistently post content, it kind of builds that trust with the audience, because then they can come to expect that they will get content from you on a certain day or whatever every week, such and such. That a lot goes into building that trust with your audience. So if they can trust you to put out content on a consistent basis, it gives them more of a reason to connect with you and keep coming back for more, because they know that you're going to be there when you say you're going to be there. Consistency is everything in our business. If you can't be consistent with your content, you're not going to make it very far. So, yeah, consistency is definitely key.
And don't worry so much about, if you only have time to make a video every 2 weeks, of course, more videos would mean more views, more chances, more shots at the target, right? But if you only have so much time, try to be consistent with the time you have. So if once every 2 weeks was your schedule, and that was where you were the most optimal in terms of your work-life balance and your consistency on YouTube, then roll with it. Every other Monday, there's the video. People can depend on it like clockwork. I would say also another part of consistency that gets overlooked is be consistent in the type of content you make. Whether it's a certain editing style, thumbnail style, things like that. When people subscribe to you, when your content resonates with them and you want them to return, it's good to, it's good to tweak things and kind of improve over time, but it's also good to just have a certain, approach to your content that is consistent day in and day out. Because the thing we see the most, like the best example, are channels where they clearly use like Canva for their thumbnails, but they pick a new Canva template every single time they make a thumbnail. And so when you look at their channel as a whole, the thumbnails look like they all came from different YouTube channels. Like they're all over the place. So consistency is key in every aspect. I think it can be key.
And one more thing to add to that. When we talk about a schedule, I think posting on a particular day is more important than posting on a particular time. If you don't hit the time every week, that's okay. I wouldn't worry about that. But if you pick a day to post, you definitely should be consistently posting on that same day every week, if that's what you choose to do.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So just kind of looking here for another question. Okay. So this is kind of a classic. Okay. Generally, I wouldn't take questions like this because of the vagueness, but I'm feeling like we can address these today in a different way. So,
oh boy,
one of my biggest questions I ask and nobody gives me a clear answer: how can I reach 1,000 subscribers quickly so I can get paid from YouTube? I can already see Viper's, like, I see the steam. I see it coming out. Go for it.
Oh boy, this is the wrong mindset to have when you're coming to YouTube. This is not it. This is not it. The reason why you're not getting a clear answer, because there is no clear answer. every creator, every channel is different on YouTube. The variables that are involved are different. Every single creator, every single channel, even your own videos are different. Things that are affecting your individual videos are different on a per video basis. So it is literally impossible to give you a guideline or an outline to tell you how to reach 1,000 subscribers quickly. If you are on YouTube to make money, I got news for you. You make pennies on the dollar for every view that you get. So you're not going to be making much of anything. You might have enough for a Happy Meal at McDonald's. Okay. You might make enough for a Happy Meal. Okay. That's about it. And I'm talking about in a month. Your 1 month payout from YouTube might get you a Happy Meal. So if that's what you want, not a good look for you. But if you really want to build, oh man, I think the best answer is the one that we've already talked about, is consistently making content. If you want to build up your subscriber base, the best answer, really the only answer, is to put out content on a consistent basis. If you build it, they will come. It's literal. I know it's a movie quote, and it sounds kind of cliche, but it's really true on YouTube. If you build it, they will come. You will get subscribers if you put out content. That's really all I can tell you.
Yes, and I just everything you said, absolutely. I was going to make another point. Now I've kind of lost it here. So the question was, no one gives you a clear answer. How do you reach 1,000 subscribers? And the goal being to get paid on YouTube. The reason nobody gives you a clear answer is because there is no answer to that question. I don't care what YouTube channel growth channel you go to. You might be trying all of them, trying to get this question answered, trying to find some answers to this question. I don't care who it is. There's no one thing. Oh, obviously you just got to do this. Have you even tried this yet? It literally is down to you. You're in like complete control here. You have to make content, like we said, consistently that resonates with an audience. You have to make content for an audience. When you go into this saying, I need content for me to get paid, you're already in the wrong mindset. Of course, we all want to make, a living out of YouTube. I'm sure it'd be kind of weird if anyone here didn't want to make a living from their YouTube channel. So we get that, but let that be second. Let that happen if it's going to happen. Focus more on bringing value to an audience. And that is what's going to help you grow. You'll hit 1,000 subscribers before you know it. You're going to need to try new things. You're going to need to be patient with yourself and with the process. And check out some of our videos, because I feel like I'm reading from one of my scripts here. I say this stuff all the time. Even if you're not a gaming channel, watch some of my videos, watch Rob's videos. We always talk about this stuff. So I hope that helped. Also, it might have been you. I saw somebody on the corner here spamming chat. Please don't spam chat. That's our answer though. And best of luck. All right, going to refresh here. Okay. Somehow Surviving says, my type of content has limited supply. I do informational gaming videos for Ark. So Ark Survival Evolved, if you haven't played it, it's pretty cool. It's a dinosaur. It's a game where it's like prehistoric times and you tame dinosaurs and build stuff. It's awesome. What can I do once I hit that limit to continually have content? So your content has limited supply. I might need to ask you to rephrase this question, because as a gamer myself, I kind of maybe know what you might be getting at. Maybe there's only so many tips you can give about Ark. What do you think, Viper?
Yeah. That shelf life is going to run out. Eventually, people are going to move on from that game, and you're going to have to move on with them or find a new game. That's the rough thing about gaming content, especially when you're hyper focused on a particular game. At some point, your viewers and even you as a creator are probably going to grow out of that game, or there's going to be a new game that has everybody's attention, and the game that you're making content about is going to go. No one's going to care anymore. So you're going to have to figure out how to pivot on to the latest, hottest thing, or figure out what to do. But that's a hard thing to like hyper focus on one video game to make content. I mean, unless you have a game that like comes out like annually, like a sports game or something like that, or a franchise that comes out every year, then that might be a little easier, because you can figure out a way to make content year round and keep going until the new release comes the next year. But when you talk about a game like Ark that you don't even know if it's going to get a sequel or not, or maybe it got a sequel, but that sequel's going to be it. That's a short shelf life. So That's a hard one, man. It's just, I think it's just a matter of knowing when to pivot and making sure you pivot correctly.
I started gaming in the survival space, start with Minecraft, but I kind of rode different waves of different trends. And one of the things that got me really stressed was chasing my tail, trying to figure out the next like popular game. What's going to be, because Minecraft had a period there where just even for the biggest creators was just kind of dipping in interest. I think maybe they were just between updates, things like that. Oh, I see a comment from them. I'm going to refresh real quick. Hopefully it's here. So there is an Arc 2 coming out, so maybe transition as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, there you go.
That's great. I'm glad you said that, because I was going to say there was no Minecraft 2 on the horizon. There still isn't. There's updates, of course. If there's a sequel to the game, you need to start covering it now. If there's any information about it at all, you don't have to cover it every single video, but start now. Start pivoting now and make some videos about, speculate a little bit. Think 5 things we need in Arc 2.
Yep.
Go to the roadmap that the developers have, if there is one. I don't follow Arc anymore. I'm sorry. And look and see what they're doing. Gaming channels, please listen right now, because this encompasses all gaming channels.
Ooh, drop it, Dan. Drop it on them.
I'm dropping it. Those are my tips. If a game is coming out that you want to cover in your channel, if a game that no one's ever heard of before, a whole new franchise about to drop, and you've been following it, make your channel today. And even if you don't have, throw the consistency out the window. If you can only make conceivably 1 or 2 videos, then do it. At least get those videos out there. Let them sit on YouTube for a bit. But start right now making content. Be the authority on this new game. Be one of the authorities. There's going to be many. You won't be able to be the one, but be as close to the one as you can be. And start now if you can. If you know there's Arc 2 and that's all the info you have, speculate. Every couple of weeks, put out another Arc 2 video of you saying top 5 things we need, 5 things we better not happen. Just go into it. Really start getting into the hype, get into that community. And then for those of you who are like, well, okay, what if this channel didn't have Arc 2? Okay, go back to that. And I was going to a hot tip for you: versus content. Take a game that you would like to play that's similar to Arc, and say Arc versus Minecraft, or Arc versus whatever game that you want to play, and throw that video out there and just see what kind of response it gets. It's on brand with your channel. You're an Arc channel, but it's also just creaking the door open a little bit. I might try this game. I'm not going to tease it. I'm not going to say in the video, hey, I'm thinking of changing games. What do you guys think? No, just these are my thoughts. Arc versus Minecraft. In Arc, you have dinosaurs. There are no dinosaurs in Minecraft. That's one strike against Minecraft. Just check out some versus videos, see how other people have kind of approached that. And that would be my offer to you if you're looking to pivot away from Arc completely, or if you're a gaming channel trying to figure out a pivot. The most important thing is remember who your audience is. You play survival games. They like survival games. You have the best chance of keeping that audience if you stay in that category.
Whew.
The end.
Damn.
Not of the stream, just of
fire out here. I like it.
Just of that tangent, the end. Okay. There's someone asking. So the tech unravel. Will switching from weekly uploads to bi-weekly affect the algorithm? Did it once, and it seemed like it does.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
There will be an impact. I wouldn't think of it as the algorithm. I really, Rob and I have been talking about this. Like, the algorithm's just like big boogeyman, and people really get wrapped up in it. The simple fact is, if there's less content to feed the algorithm, then there's less content. And of course, your numbers will be impacted by that. I do think you could take it too far. You can upload multiple times a day, and now there's just too much. The recommendation system can only recommend so much. It's not going to give you priority because you uploaded 7 videos in a day, unless you're like a superstar.
I think we need to drop the great bomb on them right now, Graham, about the algorithm.
All right.
So, what if I told you that the algorithm is nothing more than a measurement of human behavior? If I told you all that, it's not really a robot, you all.
The algorithm was in us all along.
It's literally how viewers are reacting to your content. So, like Dan said, if you make less content, less people are going to watch because there's less content. You make more content, more people will watch. It's like what's the thing about you give yourself more chances. If you put less out there, then you're going to lose people, because especially if you were making content on a weekly basis and then you switch to bi-weekly, that is going to rub some people the wrong way, and they're going to stop watching because people are funny like that. Human beings are creatures of habit. They like to know what to expect. If you change up anything on them, that is going to have a negative impact on you as a creator. Now, some people are going to be okay with it, but some people are not. You just have to expect and accept those consequences. But yeah, if you change your upload frequency, your numbers will reflect that.
If that's all you can do, though, if you're struggling for weekly content, the one thing I would urge you to do is not quit. What?
I love you, OFA. You're great. He said we are the algorithm.
We are the algorithm. So don't quit by all means. Like, keep going. If bi-weekly content works better for you, I would argue that yes, of course, there's going to be less shots at the target. However, if it means a better product, if it means you're not burnt out as a creator, then bi-weekly is your schedule. Do what works best for you. This is all. That's why I said there's no one answer to these questions. This is all very open-ended, these Q&As, because
I love how Dan just said that there's no one correct answer. There's not, because people always ask me or ask creators, what's the best upload schedule? The best upload schedule is whatever you can do. It has to fit within your lifestyle, because the most important thing is consistency. But that consistency is determined by you and your lifestyle. If you can upload 2 videos a week consistently, then do that. If you can only upload 1 time a week, consistently do that. If you can only upload once every other week, consistently do that. But whatever you do, just stick to it and do it consistently. Consistency is more important than upload frequency. Consistency is everything.
Yep.
That's the answer.
I want to apologize to our moderators and Dan H. I should have turned slow mode on at the beginning of Q&A, and I hadn't done that, so I just did. Slow mode's on for a minute. I've just been noticing some spam. We can see your questions. The problem is sometimes we stop chat and then we talk about a question for a few minutes and then we refresh. So it's okay to re-ask, but please don't spam your question. And just because the slow mode 60 seconds doesn't mean you should copy and paste every 60 seconds. Like, give us time. We're trying to answer these as much as we can. Viper, we didn't talk about this before. We have another hour. I hope you have time. If you don't, it's totally cool. If you've got to bail, we should have talked about that earlier. But I just want to let everybody know, one way or another, I'll be here for an hour, and hopefully you will be too. And we will be getting to your questions.
Yeah, I could probably figure out another half an hour, but then I got to get back to work. Real life.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, I understand.
Also, I should probably mention to you all that El Jefe is in the chat, and that's my head of security. So if y'all do get out of line, he knows what to do. He knows how to handle
it. Yes, he does. El Jefe does not mind swinging around ban hammers. I've seen it happen. It's bad news. So watch yourselves. Okay. So this question came right after Tech Unravel. By the way, Tech Unravel, I do wish you luck, and thank you for your question. It really does. There are a few parts to that, so I hope you figure out what works best for you. So is there such a thing as over niching, which means you get too specific? Could that be a problem?
It depends. Yes and no. Now, you can really get hyper specific to a point where there's only a small number of people that will be interested in that particular content. So, and that way you limit your growth, because if you get hyper specific on a particular a subject area that not a lot of people care about, then your growth potential is greatly diminished. But if you hyper niche into something that is very popular, then you got the sky's the limit. So I think it really just depends on the type of content that you are going to hyper niche into.
Yeah. That's a good point. I was trying to think of an example of what a hyper niche might be. I've seen many. I'm just trying to think of one for today. I'll use Minecraft because it's a comfortable example. There's something in Minecraft called redstone, and it's a thing you can use to make little components in Minecraft. It can be very complicated. It can be simple all the way to massively complicated. People have used it to create working Game Boys, like in Minecraft. Like it gets that advanced. So a niche that I would say isn't too niche is you are a redstone Minecraft creator. You play Minecraft, but you specifically focus on giving value in that space. You want people to know everything there's to know. I would say you'd be going too niche if all you did was Minecraft Redstone creations that were only like cow farms. Like there's a lot of different mobs in Minecraft that people can use redstone to farm, but you just settle on cows, you know, like that might be a hyper niche. That might be too much. Like you can probably stand to be a little more. So I think the downside to a hyper niche is you kind of run out of ideas. You know, there's only so many things you can say about a certain topic.
Yeah.
That's like our Arc 2 conversation a minute ago. That creator might be like, yeah, I'll start making Arc 2 content right now. But because there's no info on the game, they can only make so much. So it's important to be an Arc creator, not an Arc 2 speculative creator, you know, and then be completely beholden to game devs to give you some content there.
I mean, you want to talk about hyper niche, and I mean, there are a whole YouTube channel dedicated to train rides and just having a camera at the front of a train and then watching the train go on the track. And it gets like tons of views, so it's doable.
Yeah, absolutely. So best of luck to you. I can refresh chat here. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm gonna take this question here. Following Somehow Surviving's question, what if your niche is playing Ark but not making speculation videos about Ark?
The same thing. How much Ark can you play? I mean, eventually people are going to get tired of that game and they're going to move on to another game. So it's the same principle. You have to figure out. You have to know when the time comes to pivot, and you have to figure out what you're going to pivot to. So, as creative, we always have to be ahead of the game. We can't be reactive. We have to be proactive, because if you're reactive, you're already lost. You're getting left behind. So, as creative, we definitely have to be on top of the content that we are making. We have to be proactive more than reactive, because if you're reacting, there are already other creators that are past you by and way ahead of you. So, you got to know when it's time to move on to the next piece of content that you're going to do.
Yeah, I did kind of address this question at the time. Maybe you missed it. What I said is if you're not going to continue making videos in Ark, if you're Somehow Surviving, for example, you want to start making some versus content of Ark versus other games, and that could be your pivot strategy to try to pivot into other content. There's another example. I'm trying to think of all the names of all the players involved. There's a Twitch streamer by the name of Asmongold, I think, and they're huge in the MMO space, specifically World of Warcraft. Now, I bring them up because they've recently pivoted to Final Fantasy XIV, which is a competitive or an MMO that competes with World of Warcraft. There's some drama there. I guess people are mad at World of Warcraft, whatever. I don't care about that. The point is, like, they made a massive pivot. They were well known in that one game, and they've just pivoted to a whole different game that is related to World of Warcraft in that it's the same type of game, but it has a totally different audience. And they're really big. It's going really well for them. But even the biggest creators, like, they pivot within their niche. So I imagine if they were to have pivoted to something totally different, people might have watched out of respect for this creator. But if they just kind of stuck to it, over time, you know, he'd lose viewers. So it's just, my point was with bringing that up is that even the biggest creators have to pivot within the confines of their niche for best results.
Yep.
All right. Let's see here. I thought I saw another one. Here we go. Hello, fellow influencers. I'm torn between if I should make videos that are fun and charismatic, or if I should make monotone, quick educational videos that provide value. Any thought?
This is a very particular question.
It is.
Well, number one, you can actually do both. I mean, there's no reason why you can't do both. But it goes back to what I said at the very beginning of this live stream. You got to have fun. I mean, fun is the most important thing as creator above all else. If you're not having fun creating the content, you're not going to last long. You're going to burn out, and you're going to wish you were doing other things besides YouTube. Nobody wants that. So whatever content you create, however you choose to create it, make sure you're having fun. But as it relates to this particular question, you could literally do both. You can make fun, charismatic videos, and you can dial it down for educational videos. I mean, crazy as this might sound to some of y'all that watch my content, there have been videos where I've toned it down a little bit if I'm telling people how to do something on their phone or something like that, because me being crazy Viper, showing you how to do the control thing on your iPhone, that kind of over the top even for that. So there are times where you might want to tone it down, and you can do both. But yeah, just have fun. That's the most important thing.
And yeah, you want to make sure you're being yourself too. You know, I want to make sure when I address this question that you're not picking between monotone versus super big and charismatic because you want to know which one's more right, but because you're comfortable to being either of those people.
Yep.
If you're trying to fake it, if you're trying to be this really big charismatic person, you're gonna burn out so much faster. You know, if you just don't have that necessarily like in you, you know. So that goes right into what Viper was just saying about having fun. Like, you're not gonna have fun if you're trying to be somebody you're not. So that's like first and foremost is like have fun and do whatever it takes to make the content in your voice, in your way. It's someone who's in the YouTube education space. I mean, I guess you could look at my content and say it's kind of monotone and things like that. I wouldn't necessarily think that was an insult if that's how you felt. But I'm not trying to be any kind of way. This is how I am on camera. I'm just going to go with it. You know, I have my limits as to where I can bend my personality. Sometimes I have those spurts of energy. And I think also for me, it comes to like knowing myself, knowing like, yes, sometimes I'm going to get really like, you know, excited about something, but it's so rare for me. You know, I'm pretty even keel. So I just use that to my advantage, you know?
Yeah, it's so the question is so funny to me because I am the literal like representation of the question, because I can talk to y'all like this as we talk about the question. For me, this is definitely monotone. This is monotone Viper right now. I can talk to y'all like this. We can talk about the vidIQ questions that you guys have. Or I can turn it up a notch and talk to y'all like this. How you want me to answer the question? Do you want me to answer like this? Or do you want me to answer like this? So, you know, it depends. Certain situations call for certain things, you all. So just be mindful of the situation.
Yeah. I mean, what one person who does this great is Mr. Beast, actually. Like, if you watch his videos, he's always big and loud, right? Like, today we have this, and we're gonna put all these people through it, and there, you know, someone's gonna win a lot of money, and it's like text on the screen, explosions, yay, content. And then when he's in an interview scenario, he's a lot more like, you know, toned it down. And that's perfectly cool. It's whatever the situation calls for within the parameters of who you're comfortable being.
Indeed.
All right.
While we have a break in the action, Mr. Dan, will I be seeing you in Los Angeles in September?
No.
What?
No, I'm sorry. I won't be traveling this year. Maybe next year though.
Oh, boo.
I know. I've got too much going on. I wish I could. I'm gonna miss out on like everything this year. It stinks. It's 2020 on repeat for me. But thanks for bringing that up. Now I'm sad.
Oh, for sure, I see you.
I know. I'm the kind of person who I like this. I like my room. You know, I can do a lot from in here, and traveling comes up, like all these conventions are happening. And sometimes I find out about them well after the point of like buying tickets is through. Like, oh, PAX is going on. Maybe I'll join in the fun this year. Oh, no, the tickets are already, Oh, maybe if I was paying attention. So kind of in that way, I'm kind of introverted, I guess. And it's not something I generally do, but I'm hoping next year I can see at least one of these conventions.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let's see here. All right. I'm going to refresh chat. There's a lot of questions still coming in here. Thank you for your questions today, and thank you for everybody hitting the like button. 376 likes. We're getting a lot of people kind of coming in and going out today, so it's awesome. Awesome to see. Love seeing that. Let's see. Some of these are long questions, so I'm sorry if I go quiet for a bit trying to find. Let me know if you see anything on your end as well.
Yeah, let's see. What do we have? Okay, so we got a question from Ravencraft. Can you talk a little bit about goals for creators who just gained 1,000 subscribers?
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on you as the individual. Like, what are your goals? Are you trying to grow on YouTube, or are you just on YouTube to have fun? because the answers are completely different if you have, depending on what your objective is, I should say. Some people are just on YouTube to upload their videos or as a storage thing, and that's cool. Some people are on YouTube just to have fun and not worry about growth. That's fine. And then there's some people like me who are on here trying to grow channels and grow businesses and things like that. So it literally depends on what your objective is. Obviously, if you get to 1,000 subscribers, I mean, actually, it's crazy as it sounds, only a small amount of us get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you got to 1,000, you are doing something right. So at that point, you need to identify what's working and keep doing what's working and make more of it, but still have the time to self-assess to figure out things that you can do better as well. Because everything is not going to be perfect. We can be better each and every video. So you definitely want to figure out what your shortcomings are and see if you can turn those into strengths. But yeah, if you get to 1,000, something's working. So figure out what's working and keep doing it.
Yeah, I was just on the back end here, kind of pulling up your channel to just kind of see if there's anything specific. Because being a Minecraft channel, I was just kind of curious. Any specific thing I could tell you? Because congrats, like on almost hitting 1,000 subscribers. I would say to take the videos you've done and look to start playing around with your analytics a little bit. If the goal is to continue growing your YouTube channel, you hit 1,000. Is the goal 10,000 subscribers? You want to keep this going, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to need to take stock in, like Viper said, what's working, and do more of that. So I think, I'm not going to do a full channel audit here or anything like that. But what I would say is there are some of your videos that have pretty large view spikes. And I would take a look at the retention on those videos, take a look at the comments of those videos, really analyze those and figure out when a video gets over 1,000 views, what was it about that video that did that? And is there a way you can double down on maybe not the exact thing you did in that video, but the style of it? Things like that. Covering a lot of Minecraft mods, so maybe mods related to the one that blew up. You just gotta test things. That's what you gotta do. That's all I'm trying to say is you gotta test things, and when they don't work, it's okay. Let it be okay. Learn from that, and just keep testing new concepts, new ideas, and things like that. Always be testing new thumbnail strategies, new titling strategies, things like that. Don't make your whole channel one big test day after day, video after video, but do what's been working and then implement a test here and there, whether it's a new thumbnail or a new, mod or something like that. Good luck. Thank you for your question. I didn't mean to refresh chat, but I did anyway. A lot of gaming questions here. Trying to mix it up a little bit so it's not all gaming questions. Someone's asking how to get people to find your channel. I would recommend checking out our videos here at vidIQ, because that's the purpose of the existence of our channel. And the reason we make so much content on it is because there's always new things to explore, and there is no one good answer for that question. But I do wish you luck to anyone who's asking that. This one's kind of interesting, similar to what we've talked about already today. Can we follow multiple niches? I'm guessing what you mean is, can you create content within multiple niches? And my new advice for this, Viper, I'd be curious to get your thoughts on this, is I think if you're going to make videos on two totally different subjects, if you can admit that these two things are not the same, you should make two channels. I think you could split that and put, the videos about cars here and the videos about fishing over here, and probably have better luck than if you were to try and combine the two audiences that may just not want to fit into the same box. But what do you think?
Okay. This is so easy for me. Let me ask you guys a question real quick. You're hungry. You want a donut. There's a Dunkin' Donuts across the street, right? So you walk over to Dunkin' Donuts, but you walk into Dunkin' Donuts that particular day, and all you see are dogs and cats and birds. And you go up to the cashier, you're like, yo, where's the donut? And the cashier or the owner, whoever tells you, I'm sorry, we're not selling donuts today. Come back tomorrow. What are you going to do? You are going to walk out the door and go find you a donut. So when you talk about multiple niches, that is literally what we are doing as creators to the audience when we make videos about different things on different days. And I've seen this happen on my own channel. I've been doing this a little bit myself since I've kind of expanded my content. If I make a video about iPhone one day and I upload another video tomorrow about Xbox, the iPhone people are gonna be like, wait, what is this? We didn't sign up for this, and they're gonna bounce. So when you create multiple niches, you are literally splitting your audience. Yep. So that's not gonna help you grow. So this is why we've been talking about niching down and having a focused center of content, because again, humans are creatures of habit, and we don't like having our habits broken up. We like to know what to expect. If you are walking into a Dunkin' Donuts and they're selling pets that day, how you gonna feel? You're not gonna feel good, are you? No. So just think about it like that.
That's a great analogy. Like if Dunkin' Donuts wanted to become Dunkin' Pets, then they should have probably invested in the marketing and everything to start another branch of stores that didn't interfere with their donut business, because you never know when suddenly the place is going to be crawling with cats, dogs, and birds the next time you go in. Like they said tomorrow they'd have donuts, but I don't know. Like there was like feathers in the fryer over there and stuff. I just don't know if I want to be involved in that place anymore. So yeah. The other thing I say when I tell people you could make 2 channels, you could put those 2 separate niches in 2 different places where they probably belong. The other thing you could do is pick one. Pick your favorite thing. Pick the thing you're best at. Pick the thing you're most passionate about. And if you feel strongly about both, then, like I said, 2 channels. Test the one thing and test another thing and see what is working better for you, what's working better for the audiences. But if you take the time to only focus on one thing, you can still enjoy the other thing for you. If it's 2 different games, you could play Minecraft for yourself, but Apex for your audience. You don't have to play both of these for your audience. You know what I mean? You can enjoy things for you. And then you can take the time you're not editing the extra videos into focusing up that content, investing in the thumbnails and things like that to get everything better and better and better. So I do wish you luck. I think it's a thing a lot of people struggle with. We have a really interesting question here. This one's more of a life question, I think. Does working as a YouTuber harm you as a student and game developer? I would be curious to know the definition of harm here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a student or a game developer, so I don't know if I can really answer it like with any type of life experience. But I think it just depends on what other things you got going on in your life. Here's the thing. If you're a student, obviously the most important thing is to get good grades and things like that. So if you are being a YouTuber and it's impacting your ability to make good grades, then it would be harmful, because the objective should be to get the best possible grades, not to be a YouTuber. Unless you want to be a YouTuber more than get good grades, then that's another matter entirely. So this really comes down to individual objectives. You as an individual, as a person, what is it that you want to accomplish in life at this particular time? If it's being the best student possible, then you can't let anything get in the way of you being the best student possible. If you want to be a YouTuber, then that's the focus. So what is your focus? What is your sole objective right now in your life? Once you figure that out, this question becomes a lot easier.
I started on YouTube back in the college days, and I did kind of worry, like I'm putting a lot of energy and focus into this, and I don't, at the time, I didn't know what kind of career I could make out of it, So I still was looking for jobs and things like that, and it was just a hobby that I kept to myself, Did it harm me as a person who was trying to, get into the workforce and things like that? No, if anything, it helps, because for me, it was a creative outlet. It was a place for me to go at the end of the day and, unwind by making some content and scratching that creative itch. So it's going to depend on individual by individual. If you feel like it's getting in the way of things, you need to manage that. That's when we go back to saying, if a weekly schedule isn't for you, if a daily schedule isn't for you, find a schedule that works with the rest of your things going on in life. If you're wondering if YouTube can turn into a job, not necessarily I want to monetize my channel, but I want to use this as experience, then you need to focus on making the best content you can, improving that content, growing the channel. I mean, if it weren't for that channel that I made years ago, I probably wouldn't be here right now at vidIQ, because just the dominoes that fell over from everything I learned and the work I was doing. So it's just, but everyone's journey is going to be different. Kind of rambling, but
all right, I got time for one more question, and I think I'm gonna take this one from Maria Personal Training here. She says, I'm a personal trainer My clients tell me my videos are super helpful. However, they don't attract a significant amount of viewers. Any ideas? Actually, I have some ideas.
Okay.
Maria. They are probably not attracting a significant amount of viewers because you are not presenting your titles in a way that they appeal to the mass public. My thing would be like find out who like the most famous personal trainer is out there right now, or some famous personal trainers, or even famous personal trainer content creators, and see if you can like make titles that kind of line up with the content that they're putting out to see if you can like kind of draft off of them and get views, or you can formulate your titles in such a way that they appeal to the mass public, a mass variety of people. I don't have your channel in front of me, so I don't know what type of content you're making or where your focus is. But the thing about getting a significant amount of viewers is crafting your titles and thumbnails in such a way that they attract a mass public audience, not just the people that you're hyper focused people for your personal training. So that would be my advice. Look at other personal trainer content creators that are doing big and see how they craft their titles and thumbnails and take heed.
Yeah, you could focus your channel up on different. You could try testing different goals that people might have, right? Like in their fitness journeys. Because I just pulled up the channel here and I'm seeing like 10-minute like ab workout, 20-minute kettlebell training, things like that. And you know, that first I would look and see what other people in your space are kind of doing. So that road has been kind of carved out for you, right? You can kind of check it out and see, oh, like this is an interesting titling strategy, or I've never thought to make my thumbnails like this, things like that. What you could also do is like when you train with the kettlebell, what's the goal? So maybe it can be like, you know, how to build your biceps, 20-minute kettlebell workout. I don't know if that's sorry, I don't know anything about, you know, that kind of fitness. So I don't know if that builds your biceps, but I'm just trying to give you some examples. So yeah, I think I would just do some research into the space that you're in. I think your channel has a lot of promise, definitely a lot of content here, definitely a lot of value here. So yeah, good luck.
No doubt.
Viper, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to stick around, but thank you for everything today and all the answers you provided. Let people know. Yeah, let people know once again where they can find you.
So basically, you can find your boy Viper, the man about tech, pretty much everywhere. It's at Viper everywhere. Viper is exactly spelled as it is on here with the 3 Y's. If you type it in on YouTube, you'll find me. Type it in on Twitter, you'll find me. Instagram, Clubhouse, whatever. I'm on all the things. So just type in Viper, you'll find me.
Thank you so much.
No problem, man. You have a good day.
You too. All right, I'm gonna stick around for a little bit and take some more questions. This is similar to back when I would fill in for Leron doing these streams. I'd get to the Q&A and I'd be all alone answering questions, and that is totally cool. Someone's asking what my channel is, and that's the thing. I'm gonna actually go in on this for a second. The reason I don't really talk about what else I'm doing outside of vidIQ is because I know that most of the folks here aren't interested in the content that I'm making. So what I'm going to do is if I tell a whole bunch of people, hey, this is my other channel, you should go check it out, and those folks aren't actually interested in the content itself, it's going to send really mixed signals to YouTube and the YouTube algorithm. And it's going to tell them like, hey, all these people who are interested in growing their YouTube channels are suddenly looking at your content. Oh, and now they're not. And I think personally, my paranoia here is that I'm going to bust my channel's discoverability, because right now it's focused on a specific audience and the content is finding its way to that audience. I don't want to interrupt that. So that's why I don't go out and tell people. Like when I first started, I showed off my original channel, but I wasn't really working on it. I'm still not working on it. And now channels that I'm testing and things like that are just things I kind of keep to myself. And I learn a lot from them. And my gift to you is giving you the things I learn and showing you, hey, like I tested this thing, it taught me this, maybe it'll help everybody else as well. So that is why I don't go on about that. So I'm going to look for some questions here, and there's going to be lots of bits of dead air as I kind of look and see what's going on. Any questions that are going on about like, how do I grow? All I can tell you is we have so much content here at vidIQ that sets out to answer that question and every angle and more that you could possibly think of. So please check out our videos. They're a lot more concise than anything I could sit here and tell you anyway. Rob and I both spend a lot of time crafting that content, taking good notes, and just carefully approaching that advice in a structured manner. And I'm just going to be sitting here thinking off the top of my head, rambling to you, and then you're not going to get a lot out of that. So, someone's asking, are we hiring at vidIQ? Absolutely. Please go check out our careers page. We are hiring at vidIQ for various positions, so check it out. How are you today? I'm doing fantastic. In fact, I'm thirsty. So thank you for asking. Let's see here. Still seeing how to grow, questions like that. I see one here. How do you get your first 100 subscribers? We have multiple videos on that exact question. It's almost titled that exact way. How to get your first 100 subscribers and how to get your first 1,000 subscribers. Please go check those videos out. Rob specifically has done a fantastic job on those. Let's see. Sincera said something I said was extremely smart, but I don't remember what it was. So I'm just going to say thank you. I'll take the compliment. Let me refresh chat here and see what we got. Oh, interesting. All right. So dive inside tech. I like your channel name. I'm a programming and tech channel, but it takes me a long time to get motivated enough to make any sort of video. I get discouraged because of my bad stats. I have 109 subscribers. Don't know what to do. I would first say that 109 subscribers is probably more subscribers than a lot of people here have. There's probably people who are seeing this question and go, what do you mean 109 subscribers? So for one, I would be thankful I would be congratulating you for that. But the other thing I would say is don't worry so much about subscribers. That's not the metric you should be looking at. The metric you should be looking at are your views. I pulled this up earlier. I'm going to pull it up again once I get the screen back up here. Sorry, 1 second. There's a new metric on YouTube. It's called returning viewers. And that is a much more, let me see, here it is. This graph right here is a much more accurate way to see how many people are actually watching your content. So the latest metrics for our channel is that 27,853. So we have specific numbers, not truncated numbers here. That many people were new to the channel. They watched a vidIQ video for the very first time ever. But on the same day, 23,185 people watched a video for at least the second time, if not more. That right there tells me so much about who's watching our channel day in and day out. And so this metric right here means way more to us than subscribers, because just like the like button on this live stream right now, you can hit it one time. If you hit it again, it just unlikes the video. The subscribe button, you can hit it one time, and if you hit it again, it just unsubscribes. That's all it does. So right now, today, on July 14th, if you subscribe to this channel, you subscribe to it on July 14th. You gave us your seal of approval today on July 14th. What does that mean a year from now? What happens when you just stop watching our content for one reason or another? Do you unsubscribe? Probably not. Most people don't. So that number just builds up over time. And it's a cool metric. It's a cool thing to see over the course of your entire channel. This many people at one time or another said, yeah, I'd watch more, thumbs up. But think of the subscribe button as like the like button for your entire channel and nothing more, because that's what it is. That's physically what it is. This right here, this is money. This is awesome. This tells me day in and day out. Anyway, I'm going on and on about subscribers. It's not really your question. How do you get motivated? And that's the key. When we talk about being motivated on YouTube, we need to think about who we are as people. Like you enjoy programming, I assume, enough to make a channel about it. But if you're not feeling motivated to make videos, if you're more interested in programming, less interested in the content creation, figure out why. Why is that? What is it about content creation that gets you down? For a lot of people, it's editing. And if that's the case, do you have the money on hand to hire an editor? You can go on a site like Upwork, for example, and you can give that work to somebody else if editing is the thing that's stopping you. And it's not that I don't know this editing software. It's confusing. I literally don't like the process. I'll never like the process. No matter what Dan says, I'll never like this process. That's okay. That is why a lot of people hire editors or thumbnail designers or things like that. Try and figure out what's keeping you from being motivated, because unfortunately, I can't really sit here and tell you, oh, this, because you picked the subject for your channel. It's clear that that's you're good at the thing you're doing on your channel. It's the actual motivation for the content itself. So that's what I would try. I would look inward and try and figure that out. And I do hope that was helpful. And also I got to go on a tangent about subscribers, which was fun. All right. So let's see what else we got as I take another sip of water. Let's see here. How do I know if my ideas are interesting enough? Thank you so much for the feedback. You're very welcome. This is another tough one. You could look at the returning viewers graph that we just pulled up a little while ago. That to us is a good indicator that the content we're making is interesting because people are returning to watch it. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and it's just not resonating, it's time to try something different. That's the advice you're going to hear from a lot of folks in this space too. If something's not working, it's time to test something different. It could be your thumbnails, it could be the titles, it could be the subject matter of the video itself. I'm going to go back to using Ark Survival Evolved as an example, as a game. Ark is an older game. I know there's an audience for it. It's a popular game. It's not the best example. What's a good game for this? Donkey Kong Country for Super Nintendo. Nobody is probably searching for Donkey Kong Country Super Nintendo right now, but you love it so much you made a whole YouTube channel about it. Chances are, because of the lack of interest in the topic, no one's searching for it. There could be an approach that works, like maybe you're a video game historian and the reason you're talking about that game today is because of this. But other than that, when you're approaching a topic in a way that isn't for anyone, there's just not enough people out there. Like every topic has a ceiling. There's only so many people interested in a thing. So try new things, try something different to see if you can, get people to discover your channel. Whew. Looking for questions again. Okay. I know I'm going to gravitate towards the gaming questions, but I'm trying not to. Okay. This is one about memberships. Excuse me. Is there a right time or wrong time to turn on memberships for the channel? I'm at nearly 2,000 subs right now. Memberships. I'm asking myself this very question right now because I'm in a similar boat. I have the option, but should I turn it on? And YouTube gives us a guideline. If you turn on memberships, you should have a certain percentage of your viewers coming back that are subscribed to your channel. Now, I know I literally just a few minutes ago told you subscribers are silly. They don't matter. Blah, 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 blah. It's here. Cool. This is I should have looked at this for vidIQ's channel ages ago because it would have really put my mind at ease. All right, check this out. I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, this is what I was talking about. So we are obviously a partnered channel. We don't monetize our content, but we have the option to turn on memberships. It says our data suggests significant promotion and perks will be necessary to convert your viewers into members. So we need to provide value if you want people to pay us a monthly fee to become members of our channel. Right now, 18.2% of views come from subscribers. How about that? While channels with this statistic can be successful on YouTube, memberships typically perform well when at least 25% of a channel's views come from their subscribers. Now, why subscribers, YouTube? Why not returning viewers? Why not something like that? And we can definitely ask that question. But because YouTube has chosen to put this suggestion in front of us with subscribers, let me kind of go down that rabbit hole for a minute and say, if a subscriber isn't inherently that valuable, like I just argued a minute ago, but 25% of them still come back to watch your content, that's a really good sign that your membership program is going to take off, because YouTube probably chose subscribers knowing that it was one of the least valuable metrics on the whole channel. Are you following me? Because I'm not sure if I'm following me. I'm starting to spin out again. Let me drink some more water. So if you have 100,000 subscribers and you get 50,000 views per video, which is very generous for 100,000, by the way. I wouldn't expect that of a normal channel, but for example's sake, I like round numbers. You have 100,000 subscribers, you get 50,000 views per video, just about. YouTube is saying if 25,000 of those 50 views are people who are subscribed to you, you should absolutely turn on memberships. And in that case, I would agree. So enough of what YouTube says. I would say that the right time to turn on memberships is when you feel like you have a community of active, dedicated viewers, people who are fans of you, things like that. And there's no way, like, depending on what you do on your channel, it's really, really hard to say. I cannot put a number on it. YouTube did their best there to put a number on it, but even vidIQ's channel is being told you probably shouldn't turn this on based on that advice we just saw. And I would disagree with that. I would say, well, hold on. Like, there's, this channel offers a lot of value. There's a dedicated community here. People are watching streams week in and week out. You guys come back. There's a lot of people who return to these streams. There's a lot of new people too. If we chose to do a membership program and we wanted to offer some emotes and cool perks, yeah, okay, we didn't meet YouTube's metric of 25%, but we're dang close. And I think that, a lot of people would join the membership program. The other bit of advice about memberships is that whatever you do, be sure it is scalable. YouTube themselves say this. Watch the videos they have on memberships that explain this and what that means. Basically, what you don't want to do is create perks that require you to go into your office and do a whole bunch of extra work every day. If you offer emotes, you create the emotes, you buy them, whatever, and that's it. Hey, if you give me $5 a month, thank you, and here's some emotes. That's not extra work you have to do. It's you set it up and it's done. If you make a Discord server, you probably want to be active in that Discord server, but other than that, you set it up and it's done. But if you're going to say, I'm going to draw a hand-drawn picture of you or something every time you join my membership program, you could burn out really, really easily. After about 10 members, you're like, oh my gosh, that was 10 people. And I want to get more, but I kind of don't right now because then I have to draw more t-shirt designs. So that's, I know that wasn't like a clear answer, but I would say YouTube's 25% thing is really cool. Like, if you can get 25% of your viewers to be subscribers, absolutely. I just wouldn't. Well, I have one more thing to say. I wouldn't start it too early. If you only get, I'm guessing because did you say live stream? If you get 20 viewers per live stream consistently, and they're about the same people every time, that would be the wrong time to start memberships. I don't think that's enough people because you're only going to get a couple members. And one of the mistakes I made way early on was opening up forums or Discords or whatever it was at the time for my very, very, very small audience. And what ended up happening was my audience formed a clique. And whenever somebody new came in, which happened to be rare at the time, they weren't very welcomed because my small audience had already formed a clique and they didn't really welcome in anybody new. And I could have done more to encourage that, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, if you started too early and the sample size is too small, you're going to create like just a little tiny community within your community that demands your attention, but isn't really making you enough money to justify the time spent giving them that attention. So I don't know. I hope all of that was helpful. These are things I'm struggling with right now. So I kind of relate to this question. I am going to look for another one, though. Let's see here. Let's see. Lots and lots and lots of gaming channels. I'm trying not to ignore these. I'm just trying to see if there's any other channels here that we could talk to for a bit. Okay. This one's always interesting. So I'm a hairstyle / braids channel. I do tutorials most of the time. What category should I upload my videos? So two things on this. The category on YouTube is very inconsequential. I'm going to pull it up here and show you what the category on YouTube is. What are we talking about? When you're editing your description and everything, the category is all the way down here, even below your tags. And for us, where is it? We are in how to and style. Our channel has nothing to do with style. I don't know what why how to is lumped in with style. But for us, we just leave it there because that's the closest thing, right? Like how to and style. For this video, since it is gaming related, it would have been okay for me to hit gaming. It probably also would have been okay for me to say Minecraft because I do talk about Minecraft in the video. And then this is where the category really matters. If you're a gaming channel, use categories, select gaming, always type the name of the game, and then select it from this list. Do that for sure. If you're any other channel, you could pretty much put your content anywhere. YouTube just doesn't do anything with this, I don't think, unless you're a gaming channel. I really think that we could be in education, we could be in science and technology, or we can be in how to and style. All of those would be appropriate. I think for you, if you're doing hair and braids, maybe how to and style is even more beneficial to you because that is style, braids and things like that. So maybe this is your category right here. I want to see his beauty one. See, and there's so many beauty channels on YouTube, but beauty is not here. And it's weird to me. It's really weird. I think YouTube needs to either add to this list or change it because there's no great answers. But at the same time, I think you could literally put it under comedy if you want, and it won't affect your search results. This is, my opinion, but that's that. Rob feels the same way about this too, Rob Wilson. How to and style is fine. Gaming would have been fine for this video. Comedy probably if you wanted to laugh at my silly beard. It could really be anything. But yeah, I just want to pull it up and show you guys exactly what we were talking about. I moved the wrong window over. Here we go. Thank you all for hanging out today. We're going to be on for a little bit more. So what else? I saw a question about growing a daily vlogging channel, but I think I missed it. Like I can't bring it up. Wait. Where is it? Yes. Okay. Please give me some tips on how to grow a daily life vlog channel to increase impressions. If you're not going to have a co-host, I recommend a case of water next to your desk. So, daily lifestyle vlog channel. It depends on what you like. I mean, I think you should incorporate your passions. And you're the niche in this case. We talked about this a little bit earlier, right? Like you are the person, like your channel is about you. When you're starting out, and I don't have one of these channels, it's a little bit hard for me to say, but if you were to tell me, if you were to put a camera in my hands and say, go be a lifestyle personality vlogging channel, I would start with the things I like to do. Then I would ask myself, are they worth vlogging about? Likely the answer would be yes. And, you would want to target that content to people also interested in those things, right? So what's a good example? If you like hiking, I would make videos and do your vlogs while you're hiking. And I would mix in videos, or even in the same videos, I would talk about some of the products and things you like to use while you're hiking. Maybe some of the different snacks that are perfect for hiking. So your channel becomes a hiking channel, but really what it is, it's a vlog channel. It's a daily vlog lifestyle channel. You just happen to really enjoy hiking. I guess the point I'm getting at is that even a channel that is like a vlog channel where it's just like, I just want to be in front of the camera and talk, you still need some kind of focus if you want to have a little more success reaching that audience. So I know that's a bit vague. I do hope that's helpful. As somebody who hasn't started a channel, every channel I start is hyper focused and I know who I'm targeting. Everyone needs to deal with that though. They have to figure out who their videos are for so they have a chance in ranking and search and things like that. So good luck. Let's see here. Are tutorial channels successful on YouTube? Yes. Yes, they are. I think that's a bit vague. But yes. Let's see. So this is a very, very specific question to this user right here. Calamari plays games. I want to niche down to my gaming channel to one or two specific games. I don't want to have to rebrand everything. Do you think I should rebrand or just upload those certain games? You could, if you wanted to, you could rebrand. We like to talk about channels having like channel names and stuff that relate to the game that they kind of cover, especially when you're a gaming channel. But also when it comes to gaming channels, a lot of people get by on just being, calamari, right? Like PewDiePie. You can totally do that. I think while a channel name helps you stay focused and helps people understand who you are, they get that. If I find one of your videos on YouTube and your channel name is Calamari Gaming instead of Minecraft Redstone Guy, it takes me a bit to realize how serious you are about your niche, right? But it doesn't make or break, at least for me. Maybe all you do are Minecraft Redstone tutorials, but you just so happen to be Calamari Plays Games. YouTube will keep recommending the content to me if I keep watching it, no matter what your name is. We believe that channel names play a role in helping people understand who you are and what kind of content you're making. But if you don't want to, if you like your branding, if you like your name, that's the last thing I'd worry about. Focus on, the actual content itself, bringing value to that audience. Focus on figuring out who your audience is. Don't worry so much about the channel name. In your case. All right. This is kind of interesting. I live stream a couple of times a day on YouTube. Will that hurt my channel in the long run? I mean, no, yes. I don't believe anything anyone does hurts their channel. Of course, if you break YouTube's terms of service. Because I think anything you do on YouTube, define hurts your channel. Because to me, there's a risk that people won't come back and watch more. And that would hurt in that you would have lower numbers. But you can always continue building your audience and get people to come back. So yeah, if you want to live stream and the schedule that works for you is twice a day, so you start in the morning, you take a break in the afternoon, you come back at night, and that's the schedule you choose, and it's working. If people are joining your streams, then yeah, that's fine. That YouTube wants you to do that. They want you to live stream. They want you to do all these things. So no, I don't think there's any penalty for that. What I would caution you about is when you're doing these streams, are you finding that the second stream of the day isn't doing as well as the first stream of the day? You might be trying to reach a lot of different people and maybe you're doing it successfully, so you get about the same numbers both times, and that's great. But if you're finding that the one of the streams gets way less viewers than the other, then personally, if it were me, I'd focus on the one that was doing better, the evening one, for example, or the whatever. But it's all down to you. But yeah, there's no penalty in YouTube. The only thing you risk, I guess, is that your YouTube notifications, you only get 3 a day, so they might not go out to everybody by the time that second live stream ends. Because I think you get a notification for the scheduled stream, you get a notification for when the stream goes live, and then you quit. So you get a notification for the video, the VOD, afterwards being posted. I think that's 3 notifications. I could be wrong, but I think that's how that system works. So your second stream probably wouldn't be sending out notifications, and that's not necessarily a penalty. That's just how YouTube works. So hopefully that was helpful to you. All right. So most of the questions are gaming, so I won't keep avoiding those. But when I do find one that's not about gaming, I will try to grab it. Like this one, Handyman Toolbox. I have over 12 million views on my DIY home improvement channel. Looking to move to Roku TV. Reason plus revenue shares. So, okay, you get more revenue when you cover Roku. Is that what you're saying? And get to place my own ads for my other businesses, etc. Thoughts? Let me try to look at this channel real quick. I'm not sure what your question is. So it sounds like you want to pivot from being the Handyman Toolbox and you want to be the expert on Roku. The Handyman Toolbox. I'm just going to pull this up. We're not doing channel audits today. But we're just pulling up your channel. Okay. So, oh, I'm on playlist. I'm like, why? What's going on here? So we're talking about home networking. It looks like the pivot is you were making content about fixtures and things like that in houses, and then you're wanting to pivot now to Let's see. Home Service Pros Network. I guess the channel seems really focused until about right here. You have 20,000 subscribers, almost 21,000 subscribers. If you're looking to pivot content so radically, I would say a couple things. You could try it. You could try to do some Roku content. You obviously have something in mind. If it doesn't go well, I would unlist the videos. I'd start a new channel. If you want to tell these viewers that you're over on this other channel, you can do that through maybe the community tab. I wouldn't do that any other way. Don't make a video, because that's why I'm not sharing my channel. I don't want the recommendations to be confused. So if these people are interested in DIY, they're probably not going to be interested in the other thing if they weren't before. So, just tell them on the community tab, I started a new channel. If you're interested, check it out, whatever. But yeah, I would say a new channel is the way to go. If the pivot is what I imagine, it sounds like a pretty radical pivot. I'm just seeing if you've followed up here in your question. I'm not seeing a follow-up. So that would be my advice. I do hope that I'm understanding the channel and the question. Now, this one from Jensen again. Should I have a separate channel for live streaming separate from normal videos? There are a few creators I recommend you check out who are doing this very successfully. One of them is Alpha Gaming. I don't know if their channel is going to be called that forever. It sounds like they're about to pivot to be Senpai Gaming. But Harris Heller, the person who is behind that channel, has a second channel that's more of their personal channel where they kind of live stream and things like that. And then they take the clips from that and they upload those. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Another channel I like to point to is Big E. He's got a channel where he helps people like get better at filming videos. He vlogs, he does all these really cool things, but then he has a second channel, a gaming channel where he streams. And the two are separate because they're kind of separate audiences, right? Like his gaming content is not necessarily going to attract the same audience as people who are interested in getting better at video editing and things like that. So that's always a good time. But my counter argument is that if you're going to stream the same kind of content that you make videos on, you should test those streams on your main channel, because those videos you make can help bolster your stream numbers, because new people are discovering you through your video content, and then returning viewers are watching your live streams because they like you so much. So it really depends on what you're doing. If you check out those two channels, you can kind of see how they're balancing 2-3 channels in that space. But I would say that when you're going to do a live streaming channel, if it's the same as your videos, it should live on the same place, at least as a test. And if you don't like what you're seeing, then start the streaming channel, take clips from the streaming channel, bring them to the main channel, or however you want to do it. There's no wrong way necessarily. All right. Let's see here. This one's about retention. How do I increase views and audience retention on my Among Us videos? Is Twitch a good tool for promoting my YouTube content? No to the second part of your question, for sure. But how do you increase views and audience retention in your Among Us videos? You need to make more engaging Among Us videos. I hate to say it. That's the best thing I can say. Look at your retention chart. Because I have everything just pulled up here, I might as well just show you what I mean. So let's look at the retention of my latest video. Let's check it out. I'm going to go to analytics. I'm going to scroll down. YouTube's telling me all sorts of things, why this video got fewer recommendations. I'm going to learn a lot from this when I go and investigate. Now, I don't like the retention on this video. This is a dramatic drop. I'm losing a lot of my viewership. It's by the first 30 seconds, I'm down to 63% of the viewers left. I'm never going to get these back, and it just continues to dwindle from there in a pretty dramatic way. So what I would do if I were trying to analyze this, and I really like to take time to analyze this, is I would try and see what was going on. Like right here, I lost like almost 20% of my viewers in the first 4 seconds. I used a clip from one of Rob's old videos. Was that confusing? Was the black and white clip just kind of confusing? Did people feel like they were in the wrong place? Because it's a picture of a Minecraft character, and it's talking about how to beat the YouTube algorithm. Was this intro just not doing it? By the time you get to 30 seconds in and the intro card comes up, oh, that's interesting. All those people have kind of dropped off. But all we did in the first 30 seconds of this video was talk about these channels that are doing amazing things. One of my mistakes in this video was not saying the words like, hey, we're going to beat the YouTube algorithm today. I didn't give enough indicators. So a lot of people probably clicked on this video and left. This is me scrutinizing my own content right now. And this is what I'm going to encourage you to do, and anyone looking to improve your retention. The first 30 seconds are crucial. If you lose all these people, they never come back. And you want to make sure that you are drawing people in. So something in the first 30 seconds of your video is driving people away, if you're noticing a similar retention graph here. And to address that, it's all down to you. It's all down to the choices you make while you're editing. Don't get discouraged. I'm not discouraged by this at all. I'm learning from this. This is educational for me. This is not upsetting to me. This is like, okay, interesting. I tried something different in this video. I tried bringing Rob in. I thought maybe this will be kind of cool. Him and I will kind of bounce off each other. It didn't work. It didn't work for a lot of people. So that's all right. And as the video went on, I would look for these spikes. Some folks jumped in right here. 108 is probably a timestamp that I put in the description. So I wonder if at 108 people wanted some info, and then they stuck around, but then they started to leave again. They weren't getting what they wanted. What happened? So these are all questions I'm asking myself as I go through. And if you see more, you have a really good idea. And every time you click on this timeline, it goes to that spot in the video. So there's a spike here, and there was a dip like right about here. So you would listen to it, you would see what's being said. Another thing you can look at too is relative audience retention. This is over your like whole channel. So we're above average in the beginning of the video. So that the beginning of this graph I showed you, it's actually pretty good for this channel. But over here, we're starting to dip to the average, below average territory later in the video. So all things worth addressing. Retention is something Rob and I are working on the vidIQ channel. And it's a constant, I don't want to say struggle, it's just a constant educational experience. So scrutinize your content, try to figure out in your honest opinion why someone might have dropped off. That it's not just for Among Us videos, that's for anybody who's working on retention. That's going to be key. I would, put yourself in a good mindset when you're going to do that. If you're already upset or something, you want to be in the right headspace to kind of make those analyses on your channel, if that's how to say that. I'm going to take one more question. We're over time right now. My throat hurts. My water bottle's empty. So I'm going to take one more question here. I'm going to try and carefully pick this question. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, there's so many good questions. I'm trying to pick one here to go out on a high note. And every time I try and stop the chat, it messes up on me. Here we go. I'm seeing this come up over and over and over again, which is interesting because I did talk about this a lot today. But here's what we're going to do. How to be a gaming YouTuber that plays with other YouTubers and friends. Oh, this is not the question I was thinking of, because it's my main thing on my channel. So this is about collaboration. I would test out different things, different strategies. Sorry, there's another question I thought I was going to pick, but yeah, I wouldn't make your goal to make your whole channel about working with other people, but find ways to give value to the other creators you're working with, and vice versa. Find different ways to work with them. I don't have a great answer for this question, and it might need to be reworded. So I'm gonna pick something else here. I thought there was one that was coming up over and over again. Now I'm not seeing it. Is it just you doing the Q&A? Yes. Viper was here, but he had to go. So it's just me right now. His channel's linked down below if you want to check out Viper. Okay. I have vidIQ Pro, but I can't increase my SEO score above 50. Wait a minute. SEO score. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, so the SEO score. So you're talking about this number right here. For us, it's 61.9%. There's a checklist that goes along with it. Oh, maybe this checklist is for it. No, this is just a reminder thing. So basically, you're 50 out of 50 on your actionable things on this video, right? So my tag count's good, my tag volume's good, things like that. And then when it comes to performance, I didn't use enough ranked tags or high volume ranked tags. So these got lower numbers, and that's probably what affected my SEO score. What I'll say is that this is a guide. I would not give much weight to this. This is to help keep you honest as the creator. In my opinion, we all use the tools differently here at vidIQ. This is my own opinion, but I could have maybe stood to use better tags than Minecraft Shorts. Now, tags being relevant or irrelevant is a whole nother conversation. That's why I don't worry too much about them. I kind of just, I fill these out very quickly, and I don't worry about it too much because YouTube is looking at so many other factors. But if you wanted to get the score up, you would just continually look in our tool for tags that ranked better. I would say don't worry about that. Worry about the subject matter of your video. Put captions in your video if you can, because we're seeing now that YouTube is like pulling words out of captions and making them tailored to search. We have a video on it. I would check it out. But yeah, don't worry too much about that. Yes, as time goes on, who knows? This might even change because of how YouTube evolves. So don't give too much stress to that card. And I wanted to take one more question. I was just I wanted to go out on a high note, man. Let's see. This is a good one. This is a good one to like go out on. This is a nice general question here regarding every niche. How can you compete with other big channels in your niche? I would start by watching other big channels in your niche, because these channels have been through it. Now they are at whatever level you consider big is. They have 100,000 subscribers. They have 20,000 subscribers, whatever you consider them, the biggest channels in your space. Whatever got them there, check them out, see what they're doing. You can't model yourself after them, though. What you can do is watch their videos and figure out what is it that this channel is doing that maybe what's an audience this channel isn't serving. You start to see different little things that they do, and you're like, I love this person's videos, but I really wish they would talk about blank more. And maybe that's where you fit in. You can compete with other channels by bringing something to the table that they're not. Maybe their videos are extra long and it's working for them, but you're like, gosh, I feel like I could give this information in half the time. And maybe that's your pull, but it could be so many different things. But I would try to look up to these channels and really learn about them in every way you can. And that might, right there, just learning about them could be key. The one thing I wouldn't do is go down the mental rabbit hole of like, someone's already doing this, I guess I can't do it. There's no room for me. It's never like that. I believe in a plenty of pie strategy. There's plenty of pie to go around. There's other people in our space that make similar content to the content I'm making right now. I'm not super worried about it because, we may be serving different audiences, or our personal take on something is different enough to where both of us can work in the space together. We partner with a lot of different creators in our space, in fact. So yeah, try not to go down a mental rabbit hole of like, oh gosh, darn it, I really want to be the only person doing this. Try instead to join in the community, more of encouragement for you than anything actionable there, but there you go. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. My voice is officially shot, which is unfortunate because I have a call I got to jump on in like 15 minutes. So that's going to be fun. I appreciate everybody coming out today. Join us on Tuesdays for channel audits. If you want your channel audited, your best chances on Tuesday when you submit your channel for audit. We'll check it out. Even if you don't get audited, there's all kinds of value in just hanging out and seeing what we're seeing about other channels, because a lot of it can pertain to more than just the channel on the screen. It could pertain to your channel. And yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Back on Tuesday, of course, with these streams on Wednesday as well. See everybody. That's all I got. That's it. The live stream's over. You're free to go. Thank you, everybody. Check you later. Stay safe. Peace out.